ladies, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we're making a Rocky Mountain foot butter. So this recipe is a total reader favorite, and when I developed the recipe it was just supposed to be a foot butter, but I have heard from so many readers that use it for so many different things that I don't want you to think for a second that you can only use this stuff on your feet. I've heard from so many readers over the years who use it for everything from bruises to sprains to decongesting. It's fantastically versatile. It's got a hefty dose of tingly menthol, which gives it that bright, clean, cool scent that just really clears your sinuses. It also makes your skin tingle, so it's fantastic for any sore muscles or bruises or sprains or just tired feet. This butter takes a little while to make, but most of that is downtime. We'll just melt the cocoa butter and then blend it in with the shea butter and add our essential oils later. There's a bit of waiting while you wait for it to come down to room temperature so you can give it a really thorough blending with your hand beaters. But after that, that's really it. You just made some Rocky Mountain foot butter. Come on, let's get started. So first we'll weigh out 25 grams of cocoa butter. We're going to put the cocoa butter in a water bath, and then we're going to weigh out our menthol. So we're going to need 10 grams of menthol crystals. And we'll add those to the cocoa butter. Menthol is oil soluble, so these will melt together, and then we're just gonna go pop this on the stove over medium-low heat for probably about 20 minutes to get everything to melt through. While the cocoa butter melts, we're going to weigh out 50 grams of shea butter. So I'm using refined shea butter here. You could use unrefined if you have that or if that's what you like best. All right. And now we're going to use some electric kitchen beaters to cream the shea butter, just like you would if you were making cookies. We're creaming it now so that when we add the melted cocoa butter and menthol mixture, it melts really easily, and then we'll cream it all together as it cools. All right, so we're just going to leave that until our cocoa butter has finished melting. It's about 20 minutes later, our cocoa butter menthol mixture has all melted through. So we'll remove it from our water bath here. And we can set the water bath aside, dry off the measuring cup. And we're gonna add this to the shea butter mixture. Now this mixture smells very, very mentholy, and I don't recommend really getting right in above it because it'll make your eyes water and it will really clear out your sinuses. Just move that to the side there. Okay, we don't need that anymore. So we can give this a nice sort of scrape down and a preliminary mix. And a little blend on relatively low speed. So you can see this is already starting to look quite lovely and whippy. The cocoa butter didn't melt the shea butter completely, it just really softened it up nicely. Which is a nice little cheat. It means we don't have to wait ages and ages and ages for this to come back to room temperature on its own. We can use the cold shea butter to bring the two of them together at this sort of melty, whippy stage. let's give that a scrape down and see where we're at. Ooh, lovely and very light and whippy, but it's definitely still not all the way back to room temperature by any means. I'm gonna leave this for about 10 minutes and then come back and whip it some more. And we'll probably do that 2 or 3 times. That'll depend sort of on the temperature of your house and, you know, if you've doubled the recipe or not. I will be back soon. All right, so it's been 10 minutes. Let's take a look at what this is like. A little bit thicker, but still pretty similar. So I'm gonna give this another beating and then we're going to leave it for a little longer. I'll say half an hour to let it continue to settle back down to room temperature. The reason we want it at room temperature is so we can evaluate it at the temperature it's going to be stored at and beat it at the temperature that it's going to be stored at. Because if you beat it all up now and then you leave it and let it set to room temperature and don't beat it when it's back at room temperature, it will be way too hard. Been half an hour and let's give this a poke. Okay, there you go. You can see that that's solidified up quite a bit from half an hour ago. Yeah, okay, that's what we're looking for. Awesome, so we'll scrape this up and give it another beating. So let's give that another scrape down. I'm just gonna check the temperature of this. Okay. So that definitely feels like it's at room temperature to me. So I think we are ready to give this another good solid beating and pop it into our container. Okay, we are now at the point where we can add our essential oils. We've got a blend of 4 essential oils we'll be adding to this. And we'll just blend them in with the electric beaters because we've already got them here. They're already dirty and they're definitely doing a thorough job. So we're going to need 20 drops of fir essential oils. You could use fir balsam, or I've got fir needle here. You could also use pine or spruce as an alternative, though cedar wood's not quite sharp enough for what the scent we're going for. We're going to need 10 drops of tea tree oil, 10 drops of lavender, and 20 drops of rosemary. So let's start with our 10 drops of tea tree here. Okay, we're ready to put this into our jar. So I've got a little sort of 4 ounce or 120 milliliter plastic tub with a little metal lid, and we will lightly spoon this in here. Be careful not to be too rough with it or you'll press out all that air that we have so carefully worked in here. We're just gonna sort of lightly spoon it in. Give this a light tap to get it down. I'm just doing that against the meaty part of my hand here rather than slamming it on the countertop, so it's a little bit more gentle. So you can see that's not quite level, but I don't want to pack any more in or I'm going to ruin the consistency of the butter. So I'm just going to lightly sort of level this off like it was a measuring cup of flour. We can give a little wipe around the edges here. There you go. You can wipe this off on your hands and get sort of a first feel for it. Because it's very light and has a lot of air in it, you can spread it over a pretty wide surface area of skin, which helps it not be too greasy. And there we go. You've got a little bit extra to sort of play with right now, but here is your very beautiful tub of Rocky Mountain foot butter. Thanks so much for watching. Please check the description box below for the full written recipe and links to everything I used in this video. And I will see you next time. Bye!